without the phone going. How is everyone today? As you can hear, I'm a little bit snuffly. Got diagnosed with COVID just on Easter, so just before Easter actually. So there you go. I have been sort of on the DL getting over all of that, but it was all tickety-boo. So we're back today sounding a little bit like Mrs. Snuffleupagus, but otherwise all fit and well. And yeah, did get a bit of knitting done, as I mentioned actually last Thursday, because I was at home doing that. Hey, everybody. And and then I sort of didn't do anything over the weekend. I did a little bit of crochet yesterday, but I had a pretty full-on weekend, so I didn't really get much of anything done. But it's been nice to get back to the office today and just sort of get boots on the ground and see what's going on. And when I walked in, greeted by the big news is the Kalinko had arrived late yesterday. So I have got the new colours sitting here and I can show you some of those. So I'll let everybody still pile on in so you can have a look. And I thought while we're talking about that, we can have a look at some patterns because obviously these new colours I want to get photography done before I launch these up, which we will do for you next week. And also too, some of the, I can give you a little tease with some of those other colours that have come in as well. I showed you this the other day. The rest of them, well, they're at least sitting in thread waste there, so I can show you some of them as well. And so it's actually, this is the thing about this time of year, you know, we've had Easter and Anzac, the double barrel long weekend, and you sort of, it kind of feels really weird because it's almost, we've got one sort of last public holiday before everything eases off for the year and went to the long haul, but it's like you have this period of time where the weather is definitely changing. It is much cooler here overnight. You sort of are starting to sort of think, I'm going to pick the knitting up and do a little bit more knitting or crochet or a wee bit more crafting, and your mind is starting to turn a little more to those sort of fuller crafting projects. Which is why I popped out, actually, the wee baby blanket the other week. And I see someone's already knocked off and knitted one I saw in the speakeasy the other day. I'm absolutely delighted about that. And the blanket is just a variation to my Ever After sort of theme. I knocked it out very, very quickly so you could have something there. But again, these Kalinkos would be amazing. It's the sort of pattern that you just adjust your needle size according to the yarn that you're using, and essentially away you go. It's very, very straightforward, and it's one of those. So it's that kind of weather, you know, it's that kind of time of year here, and it's a little bit for those in the northern hemisphere. I know that you're starting with the complete opposite into the spring, so you're coming out of winter, but you've still, you know, you can still start getting out and about and doing a wee bit more, but you're still sitting at home too, really enjoying getting on the needles of the hooks. So what to start with? So Kalinko. So we, as you know, we got the colours that we were missing in Kalinko came back in, so that's great. So I'm just pulling up. So this is our current existing range, and I'm just going to grab these. And we are just we're so in love with them. I'm knitting with this one at the moment. It's just, so this is the current range that we have as it stands. If I can get them all in my hot little hand, here we go. So that is the current range. What we were wanting to do was to add, so we've broken the range down. When we chose these, we broke the range down into basically two groups. We broke the range down into naturals and into brights, and then a series of neutral tones. So I'll start with I'll pull the, right, so so this was sort of the groups. This is what actually that went in there too. So this is the group of that we had that in terms of we called these sort of our natural and our contrast. And I've actually put the blue in there because I think the blue, even though it is bright blue and not a natural tone, and this is the morn, which is the dark green, these were sort of the colours that we looked at like foundation colours. They were the base colours, they were the deep colours that you would work your projects off of from. And I've missed one. Oh, that's why, because it's probably because I've got it wound. And Arthonia is the other one that goes in there. There we go. So those were our base colours, our foundation colours. So they provided light and dark foundation bases for a lot of different shades. Then we had the brights that went along with them. And we've also, I'm missing 2 shades in here because obviously they'll be sitting, they literally haven't even been unpacked, which is the light blue and the light pink, which is the Adhern and the Malone. And then we had the brights. Those were our bright shades there. So what we have gone and done now is we have added to that 5 more shades. Now, when I show you these 5 shades and you look at them together as 5 shades, you think to yourself, well, they don't actually really work in context to each other. So that is them there. Actually, the camera's showing them quite washed out. They are really quite lovely. So those are the 5 shades there. And you think, okay, interesting. The reason for that is because they've all been designed to interlock and pull the rest of these shades together. And I'm going to start with this one because it's the most obvious. This one's going to be is Unshin. Now, all of these will be available next week. Okay, so giving you a little hint of what's to come now, because if you're wanting to go and do some pattern research or have a dive into your current library or do some new pattern research, you can. So this one is called Unshin, and we realised that we didn't have a charcoal in the range. We undenied. It's actually when we did the first pass of colours, this was one that got cast aside in the first pass, and we decided, no, we are definitely going to do it in the second pass of colours. So what that does is it now gives us this extra, from a grey perspective, this extra gradient. So this is the Arthonia that you guys love and know so well. This is Remor, which I'm knitting with. We have McKenna, McKenna there, and it just provides that extra natural base and a dark grey base to give you that full natural gradient. And then obviously we have the Swilly as well, which is the full cream in there. So if you're wanting to do colour work that is completely naturally based, using natural colours, it provides you with the dark grey colour to be able to do that. So that is that one, and it's just gorge. Absolutely love it. And again, it's around using, you know, lights and darks. Now, I'm not saying everybody is going to do colour work with this, but there is so much wonderful colour work available to be able to do in this yarn. And being a woolen spun, using a woolen spun merino, it lends itself fantastically to colour work. The other nice thing about this, though, is it's still lovely and tweedy. Is the camera going to let me do this? There we go. The camera focuses on it. That's it. And it will, this on its standalone on its own. Gorgeous. So that's colour number 1. So the second version of that is this guy here. Now, I can't show you. Yes, I can show. Can I show you? What have I got in that one? Yes, I can show. It's not exactly the same, but it will give you an idea. It's not Malone, but it's close enough too. So is this guy here. So this is Finn. And the Malone, which is the light blue, which is very close to this, in fact, slightly lighter than this, and the Sheridan have been 2 of the most popular selling colours. You guys are loving the blues. And we wanted to give you a blue in between. So then that way you have, and this is just what we love about this blue is that it is like recycled denim jeans, beautiful worn recycled denim jeans. It's a lovely colour. It's a comforting colour. It's a colour that will just look good on everything and everyone. And it will tone back beautifully with all the other natural shades. So if you wanted to add it to the natural shades, it would look fabulous. If you wanted to add it back to a brighter shade, you could do that too, or with the contrast between light and dark and the Sheridan, you could do that as well. So again, it's another bridging colour, and this one is called Fin. The next bridging colour is this one here, and heading back into our naturals. And you look at this. So I showed you before the Anchman, which was the dark charcoal. We wanted to bridge the gap between naturals and some shades. The number one selling colour so far in all of our Kalinko range has actually been this one here, Grainy. And it was, how do we bridge the gap between grainy and these other natural tones? And this is the guy to do it. Melvin is the name of the colour, but they didn't put it on the label, I noticed, but that was the name that we had. So Melvin is the name of the colour. As you can see, so that's the Remor. Tonally, it's about the same as the Remor, but as you can see, it is like a warm, sort of licheny green version. And when you pop it back with something like the grainy, or even with contrast, the Morn, there you go. Can you see how that's all starting to make sense now? These two particularly, I think the Morn and the Melvin look amazing together. So it's one of those really interesting colours. As you look at it, it's sort of a slightly soft, licheny, mossy green, but a natural version thereof. It is a very earthy colour, a very soft tonal colour. It looks amazing on its own, and I think it looks equally amazing with friends. And it's one of those ones that it will appear to be, Ethan often talks about outlier designs and outlier colours, and this is one of those colours, but when you actually put it with some buddies, it sparkles and shines, and we just know that that colour is going to be one of those. And actually, look, and I've just gone and popped it with those of its three friends there of the new colour. See how you can sort of see there's a story starting to move there. Then we couldn't let you go without two more brights, because we love the brights. The brights give a pop of colour to the range. And that are these. And unfortunately, I haven't... Oh, hold on. Have I got... Oh, it's sitting over there, actually. This is my 4-ply Kalinko sample, but it is in the Ahern, which is the pink. So that's it there. So we wanted to give you a richer pink shade. I'm wearing clear down on this. We are going to have it. I just need to, I like her to think she's buying in on the idea. We are going to have it. I know I'm determined to have it because I love it. Anywho, isn't this fun? This is so much fun. I love this colour. This is called Brosna. This is a rich, vibrant, sort of crabapple sort of pink. It is loads of fun. If you were wanting to do a cute, in fact, I saw a gorgeous cropped cardigan that this will be amazing in. If you want to do a cropped or bright or vibrant or fun sweater that adds a pop of colour and zazz to your wardrobe, this is the colour for you. It is just awesome. And again, if you're wanting to do contrasting colour work, it's great friends with Arthonia. But we also did it because of the little flecks that it had in here. And its little flecks, its little nips and tweeds, actually lend itself to swilly. It's very good friends with swilly. So if you're wanting to do some contrast, there are some really great buddies for it. The other colour, if you love brights and you're wanting to do some fun stuff, is the Dariana, which is the purple. These two sit together. They're peas and carrots together. As you can see the little purpley nips in there. Gorgeous. Loads and loads of fun. And then the last one, which I think is awesome as a standalone, but you can do colour work, is the Jade. And it is rich and it's intense. And see, look, you look at those three together. They're just absolutely glorious. And then you pop on, see the Aqua. See, they're fun and they're bright. And that if you were wanting to do something dual toned, like a really striking jacket, or you're wanting to add some dramatic dual toned stripes into something, wouldn't that add some drama? And then what you do is you can pop it all on a natural base back with, there we go, back with the charcoal of the Unshin. So those are the colours. Really excited about them. They're going to go up to Steph for photography, and once they've gone up to Steph for photography, and as I said, these have only just come in. They haven't had a chance to count them yet to make sure that they're all tickety-boo and everything is there. But once that's all done, and we'll get the codes all loaded up, fingers crossed we will have those for you sort of towards about this time. I'm hoping this time next week. So that is loads of fun. Jeanette, keep working on the full ply. Good to keep working on Claire. Yeah. So this is her reservation. And have I got the swatch? I think the swatch is sitting here somewhere. Heather sits over there. She keeps out of it. She ducks for cover when we have these conversations. So this is Claire's reservation. So that's the swatch. I just love it. I love it. I've shown it to Libby. She loves it too. We do have a deal. We have a deal on this that Claire said, okay, I'll relent if I can convince Libby to do a pattern. Well, Libs and I have already talked about it. But the fabric is fantastic. I love the fabric. I knitted this just quickly. I actually might do a little project in this just to see how it performs on something a little bit larger scale. It's a really nice fabric. And I think I knitted that on a 3.5, I think, from memory. Yeah. So Claire's concern is, because it is, the 4-ply with this is a single roving. And her worry is, of course, is that it is a, being a woolen spun, it is not like our normal 4-plies, which are quite robust, and you do something with it and they're really, really strong. Whereas this does require you to be, it does require a little bit of gentler handling. And it is because it's woolen spun. So if I pull, there we go. It does have what we call a softer snap point than a regular 4-ply. And I'll just show you, this is just some 4-ply just sitting there. And this is just a 2-folded, twisted, worsted 4-ply. When I get to the end, there we go. And if I show you, see, you heard the snap. So that's her concern. That's her concern. So I think I keep telling her that you guys will be just fine with it. You will be fine. Charles, please, what is the 4-ply? It's actually this particular one, Charles, to be quite honest, it is it's more like a fingering, but it's not. It's actually, fingering's probably even finer again. I would say that this, to be honest with you, you would knit this actually closer to a sport weight. Then you would knit this actually as a fingering weight, just because of the tweed. Yeah, it's just a little bit thicker. It's it's got a little bit more chunk to it, and I think if you actually knitted it too tight and got the tension too tight on it, it would put a little. Well, I think you would just need to be a bit careful. I would have thought. I haven't done enough testing on it yet to sort of make up my mind, but it's coming. I'm quite determined. Poor Claire. I'm the bane of your life. I really am. But it's happening. It is happening. So I'm hoping that we can do this one for the next batch. That's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. What else have I got? Yes, in these. I think I showed you this the other day. We've got this one photographed. We've got 4 more colours coming in, and they can't be far away because the thread waist turned up. When did the thread waist turn up, Heather? Yesterday? Day before? No, last week. Oh, last week. Yeah. So that means that the balls are imminent, because that means that they have gone through the caking process, which means that they'll be sitting there waiting to be balled. In fact, they must have been balled. They must be sitting in packing, actually, eh? Yeah, they'll be sitting in packing. So this is actually a small size, but this was one of the other colours that I plucked off that little lot there as well. And this is a male. This is a Southlander male that we've done, and it's 1 strand bracken, 1 strand oatmeal, 1 strand cream. And this is just a little trial. We're just playing around with these. We put the incognito colour prints on them that we did during the sale. And they look fun. They look really fun. So yes, so those will be through. Those will be through too. So those are coming very, very soon. In terms of looking for some patterns, I did do a quick jump on the Rav to see what was there. And actually, this was the first one that leapt up and hit me. And it's not, don't get too hung up on the colour on this. Share screen, where do I want to share? I had to reset everything this morning. So it's all, I don't have any of my, here we go. I just did a quick search. This is the first one that I put up. So this is Stephen West. He is doing a lot of some great stuff. So there's the new garter male pattern sweater that he's just gone and put out, which is great if you've got 1,000,001 scraps left over from doing the mystery knit-alongs. This one here I grabbed. This is the Dustland sweater, which is an extension to, I think, the theme that he does, because one of the things that we do know with Stephen is the man finds a theme, he falls in love with it, and he does it and expands on it again and again, which actually is not a bad idea. And what I do like about this Dustland sweater is that he's done the shawl and he's gone and taken essentially, it's almost like a traditional Gansey, where he's gone and taken little blocks, stitch blocks, using a mixture of garter and textured stitches to create this beautiful patterning into the sweater. And it's really, really pretty, and it's classic. And he's using a worsted Templar yarn, which would look incredible in Kalinko, I really do believe, or Southlander. Now, I know that this is a really Stephen West colour, a very bright, acidy, sort of greeny yellow. But when you're wanting to do something, I mean, this in either of the yarns that I've shown you, but definitely the Kalinko or the Southlander, I think would look great. It's got awesome sizing from extra small all the way up to 5XL. So, you know, if you're looking for a winter sweater, this certainly has got awesome potential. And it definitely looks like it's been done on the yoke. So in terms of sizing and shaping, I haven't dived into it too much, but knowing Stephen as I do, there we go. Look at that. That's sort of one that's a little bit more natural styled. It will have really interesting grading. And I'm picking he's probably done increases through those garter stitch bands there. Excuse me. And that's one here a little bit more natural. Look at that. So that's the beautiful La Bename worsted. So, oh, sorry. Right. Here's one I happened to have prepared earlier. Just gorge. So that was one that I saw. The other one that jumped out at me was this one here. This is the one that I mentioned to you before in terms of that bright little cropped cardigan. I thought this. Now this isn't that super sweet. So if you're wanting something in this crop style, now I haven't even looked whether it's his. Oh no, so it's bottom up. This actually will be relatively straightforward to adjust, I would have thought. You just would need to keep going until you decide when you want to go through into your armhole period. However, this, I think, if you're wanting to do something cropped like this in this bright sort of shade, would look really quite amazing. It's a really sweet, sweet cardigan. They've said it would look fantastic over summer dresses or high-waisted pants. And again, It is bottom up. So, I mean, you could actually just keep going. I mean, you could start wherever you wanted this, and you would just need to adjust for the amount of additional yarn required. And then you could actually do whatever measurement you wanted from hemline up to underarm. And this will actually give you something really lovely. So this one's called Flanders, and it's by Sloane Rosenthal. It's actually really quite sweet, and I thought that was quite lovely. That caught my eye. And the other one that caught my eye, actually from the same collection, this is from the spring collection. This one is called Porter. And this is a really classic men's Celtic Aran cabled cardigan. And I just took one look at this, and of course I just see this straight away. It just is the Sheridan. But again, just beautiful. This styling is obviously quite now. So really excited by that. There are some really neat patterns, and we do have a pattern that we are going to be launching with the new Kalinko. I just need to get my skates on, and I've got the pattern written up. I just need to get some photography, and I just need to put it into a nice format for you. But from Wiseowl Knits, we've got this coming. This is entwined. Isn't it beautiful? And Cheryl has designed this specifically for us. We love it. We've actually, if you watch, I know you'll possibly be watching later on, Cheryl. I have popped this on our new staffer, and it looks $1 million on her. So she has graciously agreed to model that for us. So hopefully that's one of the things that I can do next week is whip her down to the park with that, and we can take some photos and get that all moving as well. I think that would look incredible, absolutely incredible. So that is coming as a pattern specifically in Kalinko and Arthonia. So there is stuff. And if you haven't seen it, I did post it up on Instagram stories. I hardly ever do those, but I figured out how to do that when I saw it posted by Cheryl. Cheryl has got a fantastic Celtic sweater that she has from Wiseowl Knits, and you should check it out. A number of Cheryl's designs translate fantastically well into our yarns, and she's just designed a new swancho using a Celtic cable with it, and her sample that I shared is in the Southlander bulky. It looks incredible. Again, Kalinko will also give you another fantastic option for that as well. So exciting. Felix, cardigan or sweater in Kalinko, Diane is asking. That is a very good question, Diane. Let me have a little look. I did see that actually just before. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, let's put this back up and show everybody else. Yeah, the Felix. I have had a number of questions in this. Definitely yes. All day long, actually, in the Kalinko. It's using a slightly bigger, so it will be softer tension, which actually being a woolen spun, I have to say, the Kalinko does cope with very well. The only thing that I would just be a little mindful with is if you catch it, because it hasn't got as much to pull it together, but you can stretch out to that tension. One of the things that you can potentially do actually, and I note in this, it's got that sort of like soft little glow to it. If you wanted to double strand back using a Whisper Fine and Kalinko, or Whisper Fine with a Southlander to do this, that's also something you could do too. But no, the short answer to that is I have gone up to that slightly higher tension. Now, what did I do it on? I did it on something, and it was good. It looked fantastic. I wouldn't stretch that if I were doing something for a child, but for an adult, yeah, absolutely. And it won't sort of get all bent out of shape, as it were. It's that would be lovely. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy's just gone and put the Wiseowl up into the Facebook comments, which is greatly appreciated. What else did I did have? This is okay. That's all you get to see of that. That's just a little sample we've played around with at the mill this morning. We've got some really exciting stuff coming. This is the thing about this time of year. It's just like, projects that we've been working on for so long. We've got another project that we've been working on for, I cannot tell you how long. In fact, I've got the sample of it, or has Peter's taken it back? It looks like he might have taken it back. I honestly have had the sample for it sitting here. I can't tell you, forever. Has finally gone into fruition. There is some really fabulous yarn coming, which is exciting. And it always makes, that's the thing, we've got so much wonderful yarn, but I have to admit, new yarn does always make you, or even new colours, does always make you feel excited to try something new. Alison, would Kalinko, what have I gone and done there? She says, there we go. Will Kalinko work well for Libby's Phoenix? Yes, look at that. Perfect. Particularly if you wanted one that looks like the picture. The swilly is great. And you can combo that up with anything. Look. Look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic in Cape Breton-y? Amazing. There's so much. Honestly, we could be here all day playing with colour combinations. We really could. But I couldn't help myself. I literally walked in today. Heather had them all lined up on my desk when I walked in as a surprise, bless her. I was like, I have to show everybody. And of course, I know you're going to say, when are they coming? But I promise they'll be here as soon as we can. In fact, I might even dive in. Claire may have even already done the codes, and I can at least get them in. So exciting. I'm doing all of these things. I'm here today. She's on leave. It's great. Poor thing. I'm so mean to her. I'm dreadful. It's because I love her so much. That's why. No other news, I don't think. And we're hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll just check the roster. I think the plan is to reopening Saturdays again from this coming month. So may not be the first this Saturday, because I think the Saturday is in May. May not, but it might be, hopefully, fingers crossed, from the next week. That is the plan. We talked about it before Claire went away. So things are starting. I sort of get the feel that things are beginning to get back to normal and calm down again. So it's great. It's really, really, I'm so excited. Right, I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to let everybody go off and get some knitting done. Hopefully everything is good at your place. You have a great weekend. I will talk to you guys again on Monday. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.